You did everything right. You went to school. You got the degree. You said yes to the unpaid internship. You moved back home to save money, swallowed your pride, slept in your childhood bedroom, and watched your parents' generation shake their heads like you just weren't trying hard enough. And still, you can't afford rent. You can't save. You can't get ahead. This video isn't going to tell you to cut your lattes. This video is going to tell you the truth. Let's start with jobs, because everyone assumes young Canadians are just being picky. They're not. In 2025, 437,000 young Canadians were actively looking for work and couldn't find it. That's a 57% jump in youth joblessness in just 3 years. The Hub. As of mid-2025, the national youth unemployment rate hit 14.2%, up from 10.8% before the pandemic. Money.ca. And if you're a student looking for a summer job, the unemployment rate for returning students surpassed 20% in summer 2025, the highest non-pandemic level in over 25 years. Visual Capitalist, 20%. And it's not just quantity, it's quality. According to Canada's Labour Market Information Council, half of the entry-level job postings for graduates with a bachelor's degree vanished between 2024 and 2025. The Globe and Mail. You spent 4 years and $60,000 on a degree, and half the jobs it was supposed to open, gone. AI disruption is reshaping entry-level jobs. Younger workers are often the first displaced by these shifts. Visual Capitalist. The irony? The technology Gen Z grew up with is now taking their seats at the table. Okay, but fine. Say you do find a job. Then what? Then you look for a place to live. In spring 2024, over 56% of Canadians aged 15 to 34 reported being very concerned about housing affordability. Statistics Canada, and that concern isn't paranoia, it's math. Rents remain well above pre-pandemic levels, and home prices are outpacing wages. 1 in 3 Gen Z Canadians are eating less because of finances or borrowing to buy food. The Globe and Mail. Borrowing to buy food. In Canada, in 2025, homeownership rates have decreased across all age groups, but particularly among younger Canadians, and the housing affordability situation in many Canadian cities recently hit the worst levels seen in decades. Canada. And if you think, okay, I'll just rent and save up, here's the brutal math. Buying a home 10 years later, even at the same price, creates a wealth gap of $300,000 or more through lost equity appreciation and rent payments that build zero wealth. Wealth North. Every month you rent because you have to, not because you want to. That's a month someone else's net worth is growing and yours isn't. And underneath all of this, debt. Canada's overall household debt has reached over 180% of disposable income, the highest in the G7. Student loans, credit cards, and mortgages combine to limit financial flexibility before it even begins. Money to see. Consumer debt in Canada reached $2.54 trillion at the end of 2024, a 4.6% increase over the year before. The average non-mortgage debt per person? $21,931. What can help? That's the average. Some Gen Zers are carrying student debt on top of that before they've made a single dollar in their career field. 29% of Gen Z workers in Canada are living paycheck to paycheck. Yahoo, not because they're spending on luxuries, because the math simply doesn't work. Here's what nobody says out loud. The boomers bought houses when they cost 2-3x their annual salary. Gen Z is being handed a market where homes cost 10-12x their annual income. The rules changed. The game changed. The starting line moved, and Gen Z got blamed for not finishing the race fast enough. 42% of Canadians say money is their greatest stressor. 49% are losing sleep over finances. The majority of those respondents, younger Canadians. What can help? This is not a personal failure. This is a structural problem dressed up as a personal one. The latte, the avocado toast, the streaming subscription. None of that is why Gen Z can't afford a house. A $6 coffee isn't the reason a one-bedroom in Toronto costs $2,400 a month. Now, and I say this as your 3 a.m. financial reality check, acknowledging the system is broken doesn't mean you sit down and accept it. Because the system being rigged against you is not the same as it being impossible. 3 moves that actually matter right now. 1. Stop optimizing for lifestyle. Start optimizing for assets. TFSA first. XEQT in it. Automate it. Even $50 a month compounds into something real. 2. Your income ceiling is your biggest problem, not your spending floor. 1 extra income stream, freelance, side hustle, skill, changes your entire trajectory faster than cutting expenses ever will. 3. Stop comparing your Chapter 5 to your parents' Chapter 25. They started in a different book. Write yours differently. Gen Z didn't fail Canada. Canada's economy failed Gen Z. But the ones who make it, they'll be the ones who understood the game was unfair and played it anyway. Subscribe, because this channel exists for exactly that.